So maybe you've already drafted and you're just sitting by hoping that none of your players get injured before week 1. Or you have a big draft coming up in the next few days. Either way, this video is going to help you out, because today we're looking at 20 plus players that I love drafting, trading for, or even adding to my free agent watch list after I've drafted. That's right, I could sit here all day long and just talk about all the studs in the first couple of rounds that I love drafting. But everyone loves drafting them. That's why they're being drafted early. So today I'm talking about players that are drafted after the 3rd round. Heck, some of these dudes even going undrafted this year. But first, I need to announce a winner of the signed Stefon Diggs full-size helmet from one of my shows last week. So congrats to the No Name One Man Show. You were randomly selected as the winner of this signed Stefon Diggs helmet. I'm looking forward to getting it sent out to you. Be sure to send me an email at info@thefantasyheadliners.com so I can hook you up. But I can hear you out there. You want something else. You want another giveaway? Don't worry, I have you covered. Because today, I have a signed Christian McCaffrey San Francisco 49ers jersey from our friends over at Pristine Auction. And maybe you don't know how to enter to win said jersey. Don't worry, I'm gonna tell you, because it's super simple. Hit the like button on the video, leave a comment down below so I know you're interested, and then head over to pristineauction.com and sign up for a free account using the referral code Headliners. It literally costs you absolutely nothing, and they're not gonna blow up your inbox with a ton of emails. But what they are gonna do is place a coupon into your account, so if you find something at any point in the future that you wanna add to your collection, you'll get a little bit of money off of it. And they really have everything. It's not just sports, it's movies, it's comics, it's trading cards. It doesn't matter, whatever it is you're looking for, I can guarantee you they have something for you. I've even won signed jerseys on there before for like as low as $35. Now, the more people that head over to Pristine Auction and use that referral code Headliners when they sign up, the more fire they're gonna send us to give away to you, the viewer. So get those free accounts signed up now. As soon as this video hits 1,800 likes, I'm gonna pick a random commenter from down below, and I'm just gonna send them this signed Christian McCaffrey jersey. But now let's talk about a few players here in 2023 that I love drafting, I love trying to trade for, like throw-ins in trades. How about some guys that may go undrafted that I'm going to add to my free agent watch list and really pay close attention to them to start the season? But let's go ahead. Let's start off here with the quarterback position. And we're going to talk about players that I just love to draft as of right now. We'll move on to the ones in trades and watch lists a little bit later. But first, the quarterback position. I love drafting Justin Herbert, because you better believe it. The season's right around the corner, and I am feeling so damn fancy right now. But Justin Herbert in the 4th round, he's had 3 straight years finishing inside the top 12 at the position. Now he gets an upgraded offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore over from Dallas, and another big weapon in Quentin Johnston. I am all over Justin Herbert this year. Same thing with Trevor Lawrence going in the 5th round, 1 round later. Last season, he had 4,113 yards passing and 25 touchdowns. And then he added a true alpha wide receiver in Calvin Ridley to this offense while losing no other weapons. Trevor Lawrence is in line for a huge season. How about somebody a little bit later? Kirk Cousins, Minnesota Vikings, going in the 9th round. Did you know that over the last 8 seasons, Kirk Cousins has averaged over 4,000 yards passing and 30 touchdowns a year? Now, he's lost Adam Thielen. They have a new rookie in Jordan Addison and a full year with TJ Hawkinson. Great value for Kirk Cousins. But then we go down to a few running backs. Number 1, Aaron Jones, Green Bay Packers in the 4th round. He hasn't had less than 1,190 yards or 7 touchdowns in a season since 2018. This guy continues to put up points, and now with no Aaron Rodgers is going to be utilized just as heavy, if not heavier, in this offense in 2023. What about Miles Sanders in the 4th round as well? Love me some value with Miles Sanders. The potential for over 300 touches in this offense due to finally being able to get some pass catching work. He hasn't had 50 receptions in a season since his rookie year. I expect that to change in 2023. What about Isaiah Pacheco of the Kansas City Chiefs, currently going in the 6th round? There's no other options on this roster that's going to eat up the volume on the ground like Isaiah Pacheco. Are we overly worried about CEH? No. Are we overly worried about Jerick McKinnon? Probably not till December and in the passing game, but to start the season, Isaiah Pacheco could be in line for some huge work. What about James Cook in Buffalo? All the way up into the 6th round now. His ADP is skyrocketing. But he's one of those running backs that doesn't need 20 plus touches a week to be fantasy viable. He's a lot like Aaron Jones. If we can get James Cook 15 touches a week in this Buffalo Bills offense and then add in the pass catching work, we could be in for a huge surprise with James Cook. What about David Montgomery going in the 7th round? And there's really a couple guys that I can classify this way. He has weekly flexibility, which means even though he's not going to be the number one on the depth chart, because that will be Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery is going to see enough volume weekly to where he can still fill in as your flex play if needed. Now, if something were to happen to Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery could become a league winner. I can say a lot of the same things about Antonio Gibson going around later. Now, we know the offense is going to be different in Washington, right? New offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. We know Brian Robinson's going to eat up some touches on the ground, but we've also seen Antonio Gibson finish inside the top 12 at the running back position before in fantasy football. He has that weekly flex appeal, and if anything happens to Brian Robinson, another potential league winner at the running back position. What about a couple wide receivers, though? Calvin Ridley in the 4th round. I done been on this bandwagon since it wasn't the cool thing to do. It's been months, but maybe you're still sitting there saying, you know what? It's just a little bit too risky for me. Really? Because he's surrounded by wide receivers like DK Metcalf and Deebo Samuel, and they're just as damn risky as Calvin Ridley. Give me that high upside talent, a guy that has produced before in a high-powered offense. Love Calvin Ridley. What about DJ Moore in Chicago going in the 5th round? Now, he stays hated on in fantasy football. I know that, but his upside here in Chicago isn't limited to just deep balls down the field. He is a true playmaker that just needs volume. He's going to get volume in this offense because they're going to put him all over the field. They're going to put him in position just to get the ball in his hands so he can make something happen. Maybe you're worried about Justin Fields. Justin Fields can complete a pass 4 yards down the field, and then DJ Moore can take it the rest of the way. Still love DJ Moore a lot. Jahan Dotson in the 8th round. Love Terry McLaurin all offseason long. Now he's dealing with turf toe. We know we have a new quarterback in Sam Howell, and he's starting to look like the prospect that I said he would be after he slipped in the NFL draft. This kid is a legit NFL quarterback, and Jahan Dotson could absolutely feast. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say this. It would not surprise me if at year's end, Jahan Dotson has 10 plus touchdowns in this offense. All right, how about Jordan Addison in the 8th round as well? He has an immediate target share. No more Adam Thielen, we know that. He has 1st round draft capital. He has plenty of red zone opportunities that were vacated by Adam Thielen. He's in a high volume passing offense, and the guy is just a great route runner paired with a great quarterback in Kirk Cousins. Jordan Addison could put up some nice points. Sky Moore in the 11th round still. All the hype was surrounding Sky Moore just last year. But we all know, well, maybe not everyone, but it's pretty common knowledge that Andy Reid doesn't overutilize rookies unless he absolutely has to. Well, we lost Mecole Hardman, we lost Juju Smith-Schuster, and now all of a sudden Sky Moore is going to have an opportunity at 100 plus targets in an offense that has a lot of question marks after Travis Kelce. Sky Moore is definitely a name I'm paying attention to late, along with Nico Collins in the 14th round. I talked about Nico Collins, I believe it was back in June or July. You can draft the team's number 1 wide receiver in the 14th round, especially the Houston Texans, who are probably going to be trailing a lot, throwing the ball a lot, which means Nico Collins could feast on targets. Plus, He's really the only big-bodied wide receiver on their roster, and he's going to be the top target for CJ Stroud down the field. Love Nico Collins late. All right, but let's move on to a couple tight ends now. The first one, TJ Hockenson in Minnesota, going in the 4th round. Now, he averaged 9 targets a game after coming over to Minnesota midway through 2022, and then barely played the last game of the season as well. There are not many tight ends in fantasy football that get that kind of volume. The ones that really do, Mark Andrews, Travis Kelce, more than likely, they're off the board already. Give me some TJ Hockenson. How about Darren Waller, a round later in the 5th round? It was great for him to leave Las Vegas, but now he's with the Giants, and I really believe this is a reinvigorating career move for Darren Waller. We're talking about a tight end who just a couple years ago had 107 receptions for 1,196 yards and 9 touchdowns. Honestly, he could see similar volume this year in New York and a ton of red zone looks. Love Darren Waller. Tyler Higbee, another guy you can get super late, though. Maybe you miss out on those stud tight ends and you just wait till the end. Did you know that Tyler Higbee has had at least 80-plus targets in 3 of his last 4 seasons with the Rams, consistently among the leaders at the position? And at that point of the draft, you're just looking for a guy with opportunity. 80-plus targets in the 12th round for a tight end on a team that really doesn't have anybody after Cooper Kupp. Definitely could duplicate those numbers once again. Tyler Higbee is definitely a name I don't mind drafting. All right, let's talk about a few guys that you can get thrown into trades, right? Their name value doesn't carry a whole lot of weight to a lot of people, but you can just get them thrown in as a bonus player and definitely reap the rewards from it. And let's talk about another rookie wide receiver, Jalen Hyatt with the New York Giants. This guy could start off maybe a little bit slow to start the season, but he possesses next level speed. He can beat defenders deep. And in an offense that really doesn't have a weapon like that, Jalen Hyatt could definitely turn on the Jets late in the season. What about Damian Harris in Buffalo? I get it. James Cook is going to be the guy, more than likely. But would it really surprise you if Damian Harris got a lot of goal line chances? It really wouldn't surprise me very much. He could have a Jamal Williams type season from last year. Now, no, not going to go out there and get a bajillion touchdowns, but could he score 10 this year in this offense? I think he could, and you could probably get him for dirt cheap. What about Romeo Doubs in Green Bay? Let everyone overspend and overhype Christian Watson. You can have Doubs thrown into a trade, and now you get the more consistent wide receiver in Green Bay. Jordan Love isn't as bad as a lot of people think he is, and Romeo Doubs is going to have some good weeks this season. Same thing for Adam Thielen. DJ Chark is already banged up, and Adam Thielen could easily become the safety blanket, or as we like to call it, the binky for a rookie quarterback in Bryce Young. Here in Carolina, Adam Thielen has some value. And then lastly, what about MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling in Kansas City? I mean, literally, he's the most ignored pass catcher in Kansas City. Everyone's talking about Sky Moore, Justin Ross, or Rashee Rice. Ain't nobody talking about MVS. But as of right now, he's still listed as one of the starting wide receivers in a Patrick Mahomes-led offense. MVS is a name that you could probably get for free in a few of your drafts. But all right, now let's talk about a few guys that you need to add to your post-draft watch list. These are guys that you pay close attention to here for the first few weeks of the season. If they start to perform and you have someone on your roster that's struggling, these are names that you may want to add. The first one up, Kenneth Gainwell in Philadelphia. Everybody's talking about DeAndre Swift and Rashad Penny, but Kenneth Gainwell has produced in this offense already and is in line to get a decent amount of volume. What about Tyjae Spears in Tennessee? Looking great in the preseason. Everybody's expecting Derrick Henry to go down at some point, right? He has so much wear and tear on the tires. Well, if that's the case, Tyjae Spears is the guy that I wouldn't mind paying attention to. What about Pierre Strong? No longer in New England. Now he's in Cleveland. And as much as I don't love that for Nick Chubb, we know Jerome Ford is hurt and Pierre Strong can catch passes out of the backfield. I wouldn't mind taking a look at Pierre Strong the first few weeks of the season. What about Van Jefferson? We talked about the Rams not having very many pass catching weapons. Van Jefferson is a wide receiver that's already produced in this offense with Matthew Stafford as his quarterback. A little bit more boom or bust, but if he gets consistent targets, could be a decent option to pay attention to. What about Isaiah Hodgins with the Giants as well? Was probably their most consistent weapon down the stretch. What if he continues to be that this season and he's going undrafted? Mecole Hardman, no longer with Kansas City. He's now in New York with the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Now, this is going to be an offense that's going to see a lot of Garrett Wilson and a lot of the running game. But after that, Mecole Hardman could be in line for a lot of short plays that he could turn into big gains. What about Marvin Mims Jr. in Denver? We've seen injuries to Jerry Jeudy already, Tim Patrick as well. Marvin Mims could be a guy that gets an immediate target share to start the season and is not going drafted in many leagues. Justin Ross, kind of mentioned him with MVS a little bit earlier. The only reason Justin Ross isn't a trade throw-in is because a lot more people are talking about him. He has a lot more name value, but the problem is he's not going drafted in a lot of leagues either. If this kid can stay healthy, I've heard people compare him to AJ Green on the field. If that's the case, you're getting an absolute steal as somebody you can just bury on the bottom of your bench to find out. How about a couple tight ends? Mike Gesicki first. I've talked about Mike Gesicki for what feels like forever. Now he's in New England. A new old offensive coordinator in Bill O'Brien, who is back. The guy who orchestrated the 2 tight end offense there with Gronk and Aaron Hernandez back in the day. Now he gets Hunter Henry and Mike Gesicki. 2 tight ends that he could do something similar with. Gesicki's not a run blocker, though. He's not there to block. He's there to catch passes, where Hunter Henry is a much better blocker. I'm loving Mike Gesicki. Super late. Pay attention to him. What about Hayden Hurst in Carolina? We talked about the injury to DJ Chark. We have some young wide receivers there as well, like Jonathan Mingo. Maybe Adam Thielen can't stay healthy. Hayden Hurst could be another safety valve for a rookie quarterback in Bryce Young. And at this point, you're trying to just find that guy that has that opportunity. All right, I'm not going to lie. I just talked about a lot of players in a very short amount of time. If you enjoy the content, do me a favor, hit the like button. Remember, got to hit our like goal to get this signed Christian McCaffrey jersey away to somebody down below in the comment section. So be sure to leave that comment down below. Which one of these names do you like the most? Are there any names out there that you're trying to get thrown into some trades or that you're watching after your draft? Love to see those names down below in the comment section. But for now, I'm going to get out of here for the day. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day and then do your part to make the world a better place.